Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of a new series playing Necesse. If you would like to skip the game's overview or what to expect from this specific series, please use YouTube chapters. It's a game where you explore, build, quest, and expand across an infinite procedurally generated world. You establish a settlement of settlers and explore deep dungeons, fight monsters and bosses, mine rare ores, craft magical equipment, and more. It's sort of like a mix between a top-down Terraria, which is what I would say is very similar to, but it has settler and combat mechanics kind of like Dwarf Fortress. So like a love child between the two. And then of course this series is going to be a let's play and tutorial. The tutorial, in-game tutorial is very short, but I'm going to cover the basic game mechanics and then progress into the content. I'll be playing on classic difficulty with a random seed and no mods. And for this specific series, it's going to be no spoilers, no backseating, but I will be polling for priorities. So let's get going. I'm going to create a new world here. I'm going to call it Stream for you all. There is multiple difficulty settings, as you can see here, to custom tailor it to your own personal preferences. And then you can go in and really custom tune it too. As you can see, random seed. And you can change the raid frequency, which is like, kind of like RimWorld, how you get raided periodically. Pretty similar. Death penalty of what you drop and what you lose. But I'm not going to change anything of that. Everything is going to be default. Your characters, and this is also very much like Terraria, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I played. Your character is independent from the world that you're playing on. And of course, this game can be multiplayer, but I'm not playing it multiplayer. Alright, that's kind of what I look like. I don't have that kind of widow's peak, but close enough. So this is my character here. You can also change your cosmetic shirts if you want, but I'm not going to. Well, other than the slider that I did. And let's get going. So, the tutorial is in the top left there. Oh man, the green of the that's crazy. The green of the forest in front of me is like making me disappear parts. Follow the instructions to learn how to craft a torch. So we're gonna cut a tree. And down here, as you can see, I have an axe and a sword to start, as well as a crafting guide. All right. E to open up the inventory, and ooh. Craft torches. Done. All right. Talk to the elder to learn about the game. You should always go explore more than you already do. All right. I am looking to quest. If you place a settlement flag, I will find some quests for you. Find or craft a workstation from inventory crafting. It requires 10 logs and then place it down. So the starting guide house has a workstation. It is this thing right here. Find and craft a wood pickaxe in the workstation. Requires 8 wood. I'm also going to go over to this workstation and steal his boots and put it in my trinket ability slot. This gives me a sprint ability. There's a stamina bar at the top, and when that depletes, you can't sprint anymore. All right, I have at least 8 wood. Go back here and make myself a wood pickaxe. All right, use the ladder and go underground. So there's a ladder here, and we're gonna go underground to mine ores. And this happens to be iron ore, which is a nice find right at the start. Ores are used to craft bars, which are used in many recipes throughout the game. If you travel out in the water edge, you'll be able to go to other islands. Islands have different biomes and features like dungeons and villages. Press N to browse the world map. So here's the world map. There is a dungeon to my south, a dungeon to my southeast, deserts, plains, forests, and snow. There is, much like a game like Terraria, there's more or less a biome order that I will be following. Go to the surface and start your settlement by placing a settlement flag. You can find one in the start house chest. So if you're crafting your own settlement flag, it's rather expensive at the start of the game, where you need 1,000 gold coins, 10 gold bars, and 50 stone. Of course, the stone's easy to get, but the gold bars and the coins less so. But you start with one here, a settlement flag. So we're going to plop that down, and I'm also going to take the rest of the stuff in the storage box. The settlement flag allows you to control your settlers, but it will also reduce spawns in the local area at night. And we're going to call this Radtown. Go to the surface, start your settlement, done. So interact with the flag or press C to open up the settlement menu. And here, as you can see, there are settlement settings, like name, make it public or private, or unclaim it. Public and private is of course regarding multiplayer. You can also see the settlers in it. So there is a settler named Mark. I'm actually just going to rename this guy Guide. You can command them, select them, clear orders. You can see their equipment and manage what kind of equipment they put in. You can manage their diets. You can zone restrict them. You can tell them where to defend. You can change their work priorities, but of course, Guide here, Guide the Elder, doesn't work. And then you can assign specific storages, workstations, forestry, husbandry, or fertilization zones with them. That's the end of the tutorial. And now I'm going to pick up a quest from Guide here to kill vampires in the cave. My current priority right now is going to be set up a crafting building. So I like to store all of my stuff in like one building to make it just very easy to control crafting and the like. Some other things that I want to do before I get going. I'm going to use these maps. So there's a dungeon map. I'm going to use it. And I found another dungeon. And then there's a village map. Going to use it. And I found another village. Then I'm also going to hold left alt and lock in my gear. For the gear that I want to keep on me so that I won't auto store it. Everything else can go boop, right up into the storage box. Can you change Z levels with building? No. And I'm going to descend into the mines here. It would be useful, of course, to mine this iron, but it's very slow. So I'm going to circle back to this iron when I can get it faster. Unless, of course, my starting cave requires me to mine. It seems like I can't go anywhere unless I start mining. So talking a little bit more about the game, the top is your health and your food. On standard difficulty, if you run out of food, you do indeed die. This could be changed in difficulty settings. So on more casual difficulties, there might not even be a food mechanic. Then down below, we have the hotbar. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then on the left, we have trinkets. So these are trinket slots. And then right below where your boots are is the active trinket slot. So you can have initially up to 5 trinkets and one of them active. And the active one I have is the sprint. Then, of course, we just have cosmetic clothing. I'd rather wear a shirt even though it doesn't offer me anything. And then over here is the stuff that you can craft in your inventory without a workstation. Alright, here we go. Got some zombies. Weapons will have a damage, an attack speed, a knockback. All of those are built into the settings of the weapons. And... oh, there's a goblin over there. I am going to be looking for loot more than anything else. Now, there's obviously a benefit to mining everything, but you do gain access to better tools and better ways to get mass resources. So I don't want to waste my time doing it slowly if I can do it quickly later on. I don't want to spend too much time grinding for resources. So in this specific cave, there is some lava. If you're wondering, it does hurt you. It's not instant, but standing on it will set you on fire. No bueno, especially early game. One of the default controls in this game is Q is your, like, quick heal. So you can, anytime you're injured, you can hit Q to heal if it's not on cooldown. And this here is a graveyard. And from my own experiences, I know that vampires like to be in there. I'm also going to eat food. All food has some sort of buff. Ooh, they're already attacking me. And I just picked up the fake fangs, which is the quest item. So inside the initial cave here, there is a whole bunch of different types of like microbiomes. So there might be like cave spiders, there might be... Oh, he is close to killing me. I'm going to back up. Gank him. Cave spiders or graveyards or treasure rooms. And these are all things that you can find. So there's a little bit of wood back here. There might be like a treasure room over that way. And then while I'm in here, I am going to loot these coffins. I mean, vampires aren't using it anymore. And I got a pretty decent helmet out of that. A little vampire cowl. Oh, there's a pawnbroker that just arrived in my starting town. I'm going to use the recall scroll to go talk to him. So here we are, it's nighttime. I don't really have a set spawn because I haven't made a bed for myself. And I'd rather just be working on the crafting room, but I am illuminating the immediate area so that I can see what the hell is happening around the initial shack. Alright. Turning in the Fake Fangs quest. And picking up 2 new quests. Deliver a zombie arm and kill a boss. The boss I am not ready to kill yet, but the other one maybe. Oh, interesting. I got another weapon here. So here's a pawnbroker. There's a few different types, or more than a few. There's a bunch of different types of NPCs that you can recruit to your village. Some of them have unique abilities. Most of them have things that you can buy or sell specific to their type. So a pawnbroker buys anything, basically. He's not very impressed by my settlement, so he doesn't want to join. But if he did join, he could haul, craft, forest, and farm. And one of the things that you're able to do is just sell him whatever. You know, you name it, he'll buy it. He doesn't really care. So I can sell him some, like, beef and iron arrows and stuff like that. And just go, boop, a little bit extra coin. Alright, let's use this new boxing glove as a weapon. And then for a ranged weapon, a Divine Blood Bolt, which is a magic ability. Everything else that I have on me, I'm going to plop into the chest here. And then get back to resource farming down below. I just wanted to check in with the pawnbroker before coming back down here. Will the mobs respawn in the biome? Yeah, sort of. But they won't, you won't get, like, more loot or anything. So there's not a point to farming. The idea is that once you exhaust your initial dungeon, there are plenty of other biomes around you. There's plenty of other islands with resources for you to exploit. So you're not stuck waiting for your own dungeon to respawn regularly. So the boxing glove is like one of those joke boxing gloves. Kind of nice. It has a big knockback, but I think it's a single target weapon. And then the Divine Bolt is like a heat-seeking magic bolt. Again, not a ton of knockback, but pretty useful when I don't have to aim, I'd say. Doesn't cost a lot of mana either, which is nice. Ooh, here is a treasure room that I wanted. And I'm going to raise the volume up. I think I lowered it a bit too much. That looks funny. I'm not really sure if that's faster than the iron sword. It probably isn't. It is hilarious, though. Or the wooden sword. So this is gold. In your starting dungeon, you'll typically find mostly copper and iron and a little bit of gold. If you're lucky, you can find a lot of gold, and gold is the nicest ore that you're going to find down here. And yes, that's a minecart, and you can ride the rails. And here's another microbiome of sapphire. You can see there's a bit of a treasure room over on the right as well. Okay, so these are switches, and they are typically hooked up to giant things of TNT. There it is. And you just have to be careful that you're not too close to the TNT. Let me hide it for you. Because when you blow it up, it will absolutely kill you if you're not super tanky. But it's a really good way to get, like, mass stone. And then, of course, if the TNT is set up near ores, you'll get mass ore, which is kind of nice. It is mineable, and you can move it around if you want. I chose not to. I just chose to blow it. Kaboom! Alright, so I got a little bit of sapphire as well. And then this is, let's break in here. Little treasure room. So we have an oak chest with wheat seeds. Oh, nice. Loot that all. And I like to mine up the chests when I open them, so that I know if I double back in this area ever again, that the... Because there's a way to see, like, chests with radar, much similar to a lot of other games, of course. And removing the chest will hide it so that it doesn't look unlooted for the future. Other nice finds is these broken iron tools, because you can smelt them down into iron bars. And what I'm looking for mostly is a way to mine a little bit more quickly. One of the common things that you can find down here are like bombs that you can throw, which can mine a lot more efficiently than just like wailing with a pick endlessly, which I want to avoid because it's not compelling. Alright, here's another loot. More wheat seeds. There's a whole bunch of plants that you can grow, and the plants can be used for alchemy, or they can be used to feed your people through cooking. So there are a few crops that you need like more than really anything else. Like I would say sunflowers is a big one because they're the reagent for healing potions. And then there's a bunch of other crops that are really, really important as well, depending on what you want to farm. You can also farm for money. I don't intend to do that, but just figured it was worth mentioning that you can definitely have giant fields of a certain crop that will net you money. This here is an alchemy table that I am just going to take, so I don't have to craft one. And an oak chest, which we're going to be digging up as well. And that gave me some tomatoes and tomato seeds. Not a bad find. Still not getting bombs, though. Worst case scenario, if I do enough exploration and don't end up finding any bombs, I will just mine the slow way. There is only so much iron that I would need initially to sort of progress in the game. The game does a pretty good job of allowing you to avoid endless grind through the use of settlers doing a lot of automated tasks for you, and also just there are better ways to obtain resources than spending ages in a dungeon, which is really nice. Because as much as I like games like Terraria, one of the critiques I had was, my lord, sometimes the grind is like just inane, just mind-numbing nonsense. And this game does a pretty good job avoiding that. Alright, another workstation and a chest with corn seeds. And here, as you can see, this is the scope of the cave. So there was like another sapphire area over here, or maybe that's water. No, that looks like a sapphire area that I skipped. So you can see that it's finite, but since it's a procedurally... Oh, there's a caveling. Since it's a procedurally generated map, you can always just get to a new cave system. So if you want to just grind away at the lowest level caves for a long time, you're certainly able to, and you won't run out of real estate. Let's get to that caveling. So this caveling here is like a... You know, if you've played like DRG and you've killed one of the treasure bugs, that's basically what they are. It runs around, it holds a certain resource over its head, and if you kill it, you gain that resource. Much easier to kill it with ranged than melee, because it runs so fast. Alternatively, if you had bombs, you could just bomb the hell out of it too. That works as well. The only thing that you have to be worried about is it will run from you. You can corner it sometimes, which makes it a little bit easier to deal with, but don't let it run you into like somewhere dangerous. Alright, here's another microbiome. This is a cave spider area. And the spiders, like, don't know where I am, and I'm just, like, nuking them from afar, which is good. They have a few different abilities, and they have a unique resource drop, which is the cave spider glands, which allows you to make spider-based armor. I'll get into the armor crafting soon. Stay away. I think there's a arachnophobic setting in the game to change the spiders to something else. Don't quote me on that. I think that existed. I'm not personally arachnophobic, so I didn't change that setting, but if you are, I think that there's a solution for you. And unlike the vampires, there's not a lot of treasure in this microbiome. There's some boxes, but it's usually pretty devoid of, like, big treasure. Oh, another caveling. I'll have to chase that in a second. And what I'm mostly in here for, strangely enough, is just, like, stone, so that I can build a initial crafting area. Another way to kill these cavelings pretty efficiently is the ninja stars that I've been picking up. I can huck them at them, albeit inaccurately, but they do pretty good damage. And another caveling down, and I've been getting gold ore off of them. Does not look... Okay, I don't really want to go into another spider biome, so I'm going to skip that area, and I'm going to double back. Actually, my inventory's full enough that... and I have 4 recall scrolls, so I'm just going to use one of them and head back. I can deliver the zombie arm. I got a travel scroll and coins. And then I can just pick up another one, which is to go to a desert biome. Probably not something I'm going to immediately do. For now, I am not going to be organizing my inventory. I'm just going to be dumping everything in. You can have settlers, or you can have settlers organize your inventory for you, which is very much what I intend to do. I don't want to do it myself because I'm lazy and they work for free. Well, they work for food. All right, let's get a little bit more stone and then I'll start the crafting room process. Looks to be some lava ahead, so at least I know there's another cave system. The settlers can do a lot for you. They're very, very nice. So to go through the settlers real quick, you've got the Elder, who's unique and won't do any tasks. So, yeah. And the Elder doesn't follow the same rules as the other NPCs do, because he's like just a quest NPC. You have typical villagers, which can do hauling, crafting, forestry, and farming. Almost all villagers can do hauling, crafting, forestry, and farming, except for guards. Guards are the only NPCs that can't do that. Guards are tougher, they're combat oriented, and they can only haul. So you have hunters that can do all that and hunting. You have alchemists who you can buy and sell potions, or sell reagents for potions and buy potions from. You have an angler who can go fishing and go on fishing trips. You have a blacksmith who will sell you like fishing rod and stuff like that. You have a farmer. Farmers are unique in that they can also fertilize soils for faster growing for crops, which is really nice. You have a gunsmith to be able to sell guns and sell reagents, or buy guns and sell reagents to. You have a pawnbroker who will just buy anything, which is really nice, and sell you some items. You have an animal keeper, which will do animal husbandry, so that you can shear sheep and milk cows. An explorer who can go on trips to caves for resources. A miner who, I don't think the miners do anything unique. They just look different. Well, you can still, all the different NPCs will have like a different inventory that you can buy and sell from. So like, you know, what you trade them with, it will change. A mage who will enchant your gear. A broken pirate who will sell you like explosives, and a stylist which can change the way you look. So those are the NPCs that you can get, and some of them you can't get until specific specific things have been met, like killing a certain boss or something like that, or like having X amount of settlers. Typically, I like to get a farmer or two. We may or may not do animal husbandry, but farmers, because of their fertilization of the soil, are really nice to have. Oh, hi, cabling. So I like to get farmers. I like to get guards so that they can come on excursions into cave systems with me. If you have a lot of gold to spare, getting a mage is nice so that they can enchant stuff for you. Keeping in mind, of course, that like enchanting is expensive, so it will drain your coins real fast. These little enchanting scrolls are what you would enchant your gear with. So like this tenacious blood plate cowl that I have has a 4% resilience gain. The 4% resilience gain is the enchantment on it. Items can only have one enchantment on it, so if I enchanted that cowl there, it would remove the 4% resilience gain and replace it with something else. And if you're wondering what resilience is, I don't actually have any resilience. Resilience is like armor, but I don't have any right now. So the enchantment on that is literally not doing anything for me. It's not hurting me either, though. Maxu, thank you for the resub. And everybody else, I missed a whole lot. Tannering, Velhar, Escandia, Miss Key, Agro, Laura the Noob. Thank you, thank you. Oh, so there's a clock here. I'm going to take that. This is nice to be able to tell what time it is. There's a stone cabling to my north. And I'm really surprised that... Oh, no, I have bombs. Okay, so here are the bombs, the iron bomb that I have. And I'm going to start using these bombs, although I don't have many of them, to quickly resource gain. It will kill you. Well, depending on your health, it will hurt you and possibly kill you if you stand on top of it. So, unless you have a death wish, don't do that. And I am looking for mostly just iron, where I will get stone as a byproduct. Oh, hi, cabling. As you can see, yeah, The bombs are just a lot more efficient at grabbing resources than slow manual mining. Unless, of course, you have a really late game mining pick, which I don't have, but you can mine quickly. It's a possibility, it's just not one that is possible for me. Alright, so I did say I wanted stone. Let's go ahead and bomb this cabling. Just because he didn't kill it, but it's pretty mortally wounded, and done. How's this game pronounced? I think Necesse, but I am not sure. Oh, another TNT. Alright, it's in a good spot. Won't kill me. Now, if I did die, I would lose, on my current settings, I would lose, like, my materials, but keep my inventory and all that, and just have to death walk back to here. Oh, and this is an instance up ahead, which will be pretty cool to do. Oh, and there's also vampires. Let me deal with the vampires first, because they're going to try to kill me. I wouldn't mind looting their sarcophagi as well. I like Blood Bolt when I'm in the dark. I don't need to aim it at all. And there looks to be another treasure room on the left there as well. Good loots. Oh, hi, caveling. Man, I'm getting a lot of cavelings. Oh, this caveling was smart and ran into a spider pit. I'm not going to hunt that one. So some of these loot rooms that I'm about to enter into... Oh, and we have an angler visiting. Will be trapped. Like this one's trapped. So if I open this door, as you can see, I made the zombies step on the trap. And that is a way to defend your settlement later in the game. Is using traps to kill intruders. Oh, we got a... Alright, so this hurts my attack speed, but it will speed me up. Or illuminate the area, rather. So I am going to enchant it so it doesn't hurt my attack speed. So the way to do that is right-click on one of these enchantment scrolls, drop it in, enchant, and now, instead, this has a 20% mana regen, and I put it on, and it will glow. It'll make everything around me glow a bit. Which is nice. Alright, so let's loot the vampire area, and then go into that instance that I was talking about. It's a bit of like a parkour instance or something. That's probably the best way I can describe it. Oh, and I got another trinket. Which is funny, it increases movement speed by 15%, and then it's blessed with a decreased movement speed by 4%. At least it's a net positive, so I'll wear it. And a chest armor. So this chest armor is part of the set. It's part of the blood plate set. But this one is enchanted with -4 armor, which is not cool. But oh well. I'll have to re-enchant that at some point. So all these stone coffins are grabbed. So let's go into the instance. Whoops. Don't touch me, bro. And I'm going to eat a little bit more bread. You'll understand why in a second. But you know what? There's some iron there. Let's get that too. Alright, some of these items that I have, like, I don't necessarily want. So these spruce chests... Actually... Whoa! That's a bomb. Woo! Haha! I accidentally dropped a bomb on my feet. That'd be a hell of a way for my first death. Just a accidental suicide. All right, so let's jump into this instance here. So this here is like a bit of a maze, if you will. So the way it works is you'll step on the wooden plates and you'll see a path that you have to walk in order to traverse safely. And the path disappears the longer you take. Oh, so that would be an instance of I set it off. And this next door here will not unlock until I get it. So let's reset. And the reason I ate the food is the bread boosts my max health by 20 points. So I can tank this maze a little bit better. I'm not good at these types of puzzles, but I'll try my best. And then, now that I did it, I can pass through, and there'll be treasure for my reward. And then there's one more on here. And there's a bunch of different types of these types of mini instances. There's just one such type. Coins are great. The real reward tends to be in these boxes. We got a primitive heavy hammer. Unfortunately, it's primitive, but we did get more bombs. And then over here, we got another shine belt, but it's also negative modifier on it as well. Oh well. Could have been worse, could have been better. All right, I think what I'm going to do is use one of these recall scrolls. Recalling back home. Dropping off everything that I can. Oops. And then going down again and just bombing all of the iron that I had around me. It was right at the ladder start was a bunch of iron. Which is going to be very nice to have. And I'm certainly too lazy to, like, manually mine, so I want to bomb mine instead. Also get a little bit of clay, too. This is clay. Okay, 4 more bombs. I'll keep them for now. Thank you for tuning in to Necesse, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow viewers.